Listen, I have an idea.
It's how I feel when you make lemonade. Whatever today has given you. 5'11" headaches, still call it Thanksgiving. True.
Welcome to another edition of the Super Duper Podcast. I'm your host, Rob Griggs, here with the super producer, is McMahon.
Yes. What's going on, Rob? How you doing, buddy?
I'm good, my man. How about yourself?
I am doing very well. Glad to be here.
I see you got the Blackhawks repping
Yes,
the
sir.
Blackhawks.
Yes, sir. They had a big win last night.
Yeah. Hey, guess what? I don't
Big
care.
win.
Guess what?
Hey, jump on, man. Plenty of room on the Blackhawk bandwagon.
I'm cool. But thank you for checking out the Super Duper Podcast. We do not take your listens lightly. Make sure you follow us on all socials, SUPADUPAPOD. What up, Sarah? And online at hp53productions.com for our herch and additional content such as our own Ez McMahon with the Easy Smoke and GM podcast. They will not be talking about basketball, even though the NBA starts next week. So
we sure didn't talk about basketball. We talked about straight football. We talked about the Bears' big win on Monday night against the Washington Commanders.
Yeah. We needed that cleansing. We needed to kind of restore order from last.
Absolutely. We were able to avenge that loss. That remember the fail Mary.
Man, that was rough. That was rough.
And that's the season.
It felt like the season was over. Like when it happened, it was like, dang,
that was it.
And catch a break, and that was it.
Then they went on a 10-game losing streak.
Yeah, man. Wait, they won 10 straight games after that?
They lost, They lost 10 straight.
Oh, God, that's crazy.
Maybe more. Wait. They lost 10 straight after that. And they won the final game of the season.
Okay, that was rough. That was rough. Yeah. But if you could feel it from last year, so I was glad they beat the Commanders.
Got it back. I also talked a little bit of college football as well. James Franklin getting fired by Penn State after their loss at home to Northwestern.
Shout out to Kellogg.
Go Cats. But he went home to a $48 million buyout, so I think he's gonna be all right.
Ain't beat that. I was thinking about that the other day. How when you think about NBA money, you be like, man, he only made $30 million, bro. If I gave you $3 million, your whole life has changed. You understand? People don't even go to clubs no more. You go to the club just because you got $3 million extra in your pocket to do something with it. But make sure you check out the Easy Smoking GM podcast wherever you get your podcast, especially on Spotify, bruv. Leave us some comments on Spotify. Oh, also check us out on YouTube at HP53 Productions. At YouTube.
Search for HP.
Search for HP. Yeah. You know, got stuff going on. So you can see Ez's Blackhawks hat and see my Kellogg Northwestern shirt. Shout out to the Cats. Ez, me and you today want to jump right to it. So we've been talking about it. I share a lot of my life here on the pod. And recently the boys, well, actually all three kids are 13 and headed in 8th grade, headed for high school. So the boys and I and their mom as well have been heading on this like high school tour, going to open houses. Aiden hates it. He's like, "Why I gotta go? Do I have to find a school?" I was like, "I don't know how to explain this to you, man. We gotta find a school you like.
You gotta go to school.
You gotta go to school, dude." He's like, "I don't want to go." Like, well, you're going. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Champ. He got his school in mind. I don't want to say it just yet, but he got his school in mind. He still is going, enjoying, and he's being a big boy. He's talking to the people. He's asking like, "So what are your hours for your school day? How long?" I understand, Playboy. You got to know.
Is it possible I can be out here by 11:30?
Well, we went to one
12.
school, and as the day was 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. That's a
long school day, man.
It's going to be closed. It's a performing arts high school. It's now going to be closed and lost funding. But it was like they told us 8 to 5 was the school day, and then they had the extracurriculars at 5. And I mean, when I took them to the open house, it was about an hour drive. So it's like on the bus it was an hour 40. You see what I'm saying?
When do you get to go home to have dinner and sleep?
Oh, I would never know my kid. I go, who's coming in the house? Oh, wow. Chase, you look different, son.
8 till 5 school day?
8 to 5 school day.
That's punishment, man.
And that's just the school day. And it was a little sad because there was no equivalent. Well, I guess there is an equivalent. It's another high school. Again, I won't say the name of it, but the school that I guess is now closing, it was a larger, well-known performing arts school. It was the only one like it. And it was on the north side, right? So it's like I'm sure the talented kids, and we know talented kids on the west and south side that like this is where they got to go. That's where they had to visit. And it was like fame in there, like for real. You walk in, kids walking through with drum sets and they dancing, flipping. It was like crazy. Like this is what you want to do, kid. But he said to me, he said, "Pop, well, Dad, uh, that's too long of a day and it's too long of a ride." And I was like, man, cause I ain't want to crush your dreams. You know what I'm saying? I'm glad you came to that realization, son. But it's been cool because and again, as I talk about on the pod, I was worried about middle school more than high school. Like more people worry about high school. I feel like high school, you find your people. Once you find your people, you cool. You know what I'm saying? And then you're just kind of that's your taste of the real world, right? You may be on the bus or some public transit, or you just kind of like because in the middle school you're in the protected space. You ain't leaving. High school, you kind of got a little bit of freedom depending on what's happening. Got early days. You might just be able to dip out, go to people's houses.
Depending on what school you go to, you got a lot of freedom. So
exactly, and so you kind of like that's when you start getting a little bit of trouble because like, well, let's you try to push these boundaries.
Right.
But like middle school, I would still say it is the worst. Middle school is the worst, and I'm thankful that the boys made it through because there was some tough moments, man. It's just because kids in middle school, they sometimes they're too big for their bodies or they got more information they know what to do with and they can be mean. You know
kids
what I'm saying?
are mean,
know what they
man.
said, man, little kids are mean.
Yeah.
And so, you get them now at this point in eighth grade, it was like every week it was something, you know what I'm saying? And I had to teach the boys, they listen, somebody mess with you, your brother, or they messing with somebody else, that's when you step in. Otherwise, leave people alone. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then, it was always a thing every week. I remember once Aiden, they caused like Aiden's he had to go to detention or something. I was like, what happened? Because Aiden's super cool. He was like, Dad, he was messing with somebody. So I pushed him, but he pushed me back and I fell. I said, hey, it's all good, son. We getting ice cream after I pick you up from detention. You know what I'm saying? We cool. You know what I mean? And then Chase was like, yeah, Dad, I jumped in. I had my fists up like this. I said, hey, ice cream for you too. You know what I'm saying? Even though you don't like it, we still buying you some.
You had the stance ready.
Yeah, he was like, you like this, Dad. I was like, no doubt. This is what we do, fam.
I love it.
Yeah. But it's hilarious because I was thinking, I don't think my folks were doing all this with me in high school. You know what I'm saying? It was like, I remember, shout out to my big sister. She did take me to St. Ignatius Open House. And she said to me, baby brother, you got to go here. I remember that vividly. You know what I'm saying? I went to visit a few schools, but it's like, and I got to Ignatius, shout out to the Wolf Pack. I ultimately was like, yeah, I gotta go here. Did you remember that same? Because I know you went to two. You went to school. One school.
Well, I went to Mount Carmel first, and we did the open houses. We visited. We did Mount Carmel. I think we did. Did De La Salle.
Yeah.
But as soon as I got to Carmel, I knew,
gotta get out.
I saw those trophies, and I saw the newspaper clippings, and I'm coming here to play football. And that was it. And so that's where I ended up. And then realized that, this probably ain't the place for me 2 years later. But that's all right though. That's all right. I still got love for Mount Carmel.
I remember when I was younger looking. So actually I take it back. My folks we did go through the high school stuff. It was more like I had the papers and I talked with my parents like, hey, this is what I want to do. That's kind of how my mother to this day was like, I just said I'm doing X, Y, Z. And my mother was joking, like, we had to decide with you fast, because if we waited, you'll be out the door, figured out something to do. And so I think I remember saying to her, being like, hey, Mom, so I can't go to an all-boys school because girls are essential to my learning. I thought I was wise. I'm thinking like she gonna say, and she looked at me and said, shut up, stupid. And shout out to my mom because she saw right through it. I was like, I can't. Just in case y'all thinking about this, I can't go, man. I need to see some girls. But no, shout out to my sons. Just happy and prayerful we picked the right school for them, because that's the thing, right? You try to balance the whole trying to make such a decision that this determines their whole life. We never know what's going to happen down the line, right? You don't know what decision happens. I just want them to be in a place that they feel safe, they feel challenged, and they just find, things that they love to do and people they love to do it with. You know what I'm saying? Like truly. And that's kind of my goal. I'm not trying to put so much pressure on it. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, I want to get good school, the best
If it,
school.
you know what? And the good thing is, if you get there and it's not the right fit, you can go somewhere else.
Yeah, we talked about that too, man.
That can
Just trying to
happen.
keep it above.
I'm the first person that can tell you that it works out. So
was that a tough transition for you, like transferring schools?
uh in my mind, when I decided when I made the decision to transfer, the one thing I was worried about, well, I went in saying, okay, I don't need no more new friends. I'm just going in.
You just mad, huh?
Playing ball, and that's it. And but then I also was like, man, but I do want to get accepted by these people. And I was going in my junior year, and so I was like, you know, I'm gonna be the new kid. You know, they've already been here for a couple of years, and I already, know the ropes and all that. But actually, when I got there, it was smooth, man. It was smooth. I had already had a relationship with the football team because I had already started practicing.
Okay.
We had actually, when we started school, we had already played 2 games. But so I had already built up some relationships with my teammates. There were people in the neighborhood. It was a neighborhood school, so I knew people in the neighborhood, and it was like I said, it was a smooth transition once we got there. But the those initial feelings of doubt and would I make it here definitely were there. I was definitely nervous.
Yeah, it was weird because like my grammar school, go ahead and say this. The y'all beat us by 50. I figured I can't you can't let it slide.
We beat you by a lot. I'm not gonna tell the score.
I appreciate it. Thanks for sparing me today.
We
But
beat
it's
y'all
like,
by a lot though. Ooh, I had a day.
see, shout out to OL. But I went there from preschool to 8th grade.
Okay.
Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like same school, same walk, you know what I mean? Like I knew from the small building to the big building to the last room, like it's like they had it where the 8th grade room was by the door, like when you walked out. So when you were like done, it was like, this is it. And there's no other rooms to be in. You know what I'm saying? I've been in every room. And but then when my kids were going to school, like, they had been in one school and then Brooklyn and changed to another school, then went to a different school. And I was like, what are they going to be okay? You know what I'm saying? Because I never went to a different school. They had been to school, but just being resilient. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I know even like high school was the same high school, college. But to your point, you just got to leave room that if it's not working, you just got to figure another way out. Right. But, so it's like, because sometimes we lean into, I'm gonna stick through anything, but sometimes that'll kill you too, right? You got to just know maybe it's not working out for the right reasons and make a move. But hopefully, the board we can knock this out and we can pick the right schools and then just get through. Because here's this thing too: grammar school is this 8-year odyssey. High school is 4.
It's quick 4.
It's over, man. You know what I'm saying?
4.
So like it's like once they get in, I'm already thinking about, okay, then what does colleges look like, right? What do we look like in these spaces and places, man? So it's really it's something, man. So yeah, we'll be heading about high school. I probably whenever they decide, I rock the high school gear probably the end of the year, man. You know what I'm saying? On the pod, that'll be dope.
I look forward to it. Hopefully, it's not some colors I don't like.
No, listen, hopefully it's colors I love. All right, man. Jesus Louise.
And by the way, I did not get kicked out of Mount Carmel High School. I just want everybody to know that.
Nobody's up. You all right, brother? Nobody cares.
No, I just want to throw
out
people.
there. Okay.
Sometimes you say you
have a sex scandal or cocaine problem.
No issues. No issues. I left on my own. They begged me to come back.
Right.
How about that?
That's what the sealed records say. Sure. So it's like, okay, they sealed, right? Okay. Man, Pop still had to pay some people out like, hey, look how much. All right,
that is not true.
Number 5, man. I can make this go down. All right. Right, write y'all up. So this weekend in Chicago, it's crazy because this weekend used to be the Men's Health Urban Athlon. Shout out to Broski, shout out to OJ. They used to be a 10-mile run obstacle course thing we were doing when we were younger and in shape. Now I get tired just thinking about that race. I want some ice cream now.
Stop it, man. Y'all are still in good shape, man.
Nah, bruh, the Urban Athlon would kill me right now.
I remember when y'all used to do that.
Oh my God, that was something. But this weekend, there's a No Kings protest. Have you heard about this, Ed?
I have heard about it, yes.
Yeah. So
nationwide.
The No Kings movement began early in 2025, earlier this year, organized by a coalition of progressive groups such as Indivisible, the ACLU, Move On, and National Nurses United, and the American Federation of Teachers. The name references protesters' criticism of Trump's leadership style, trying to be like a king or dictator, accusing him of behaving like a monarch rather than a democratically elected leader. So in Chicago, the main protest is set for this weekend in Grant Park's Butler Field, actually, where we did everything else. And with related satellite events.
It's also where the Obama
president's
acceptance speech was. Yeah.
Jeez, man. Yeah. And Lollapalooza, I guess we thought everything in there. Across numerous suburbs, including Aurora, Bolingbrook, Arlington Heights, and Broadview. So the previous No Kings rally in June drew 10,000s of participants in Daily Plaza and downtown. And so in October, of course, on Saturday, they want to make sure it's a peaceful family event, chalk the walk gatherings, and senior rallies. So, of course, protests have sparked heavy criticism from Republican leaders. House Speaker Mike Johnson claimed without evidence that the movement is linked to Antifa. We still call things Antifa. And guess what? Pro-Hamas. Are you serious? They wildin'. Characterizing it as a hate America rally. Bro.
Wow.
Wildin'. They just say anything. Activists and civil liberties groups counter these claims, asserting that the protests are constitutionally protected and rooted in patriotic dissent. And, shout out to Dr. Williams, because he always says, you should be able to, you critique what you love to a degree, right? And it's like, I can be a proud American and still know that something's wrong with it. That's to me, that's a good sign of a family, right? Nobody in your family is perfect. Y'all should be able to tell each other, hey man, I don't like me. That's how we do it in my family. Hey, I don't like when you say that hurt my feelings. Or I'm sensitive about that. I don't know why you dressed that. We go, my bad. Didn't know. We make a joke about it. We keep it pushing. You know what I'm saying? And it's like now we're in a space where you can't say anything negative about anything, especially if it's about the White House. And you notice now people speaking, it's nobody of color, it's barely a woman. I was speaking the other day. But we can't say that now in this space, and that's just not how it should be. But the controversy stems from the clash between anti-Trump demonstrators emphasizing democracy and civil rights, and federal or conservative critics who view the rallies as subversive and unpatriotic. But I think this is I know this is an example of what we've been talking about, how everybody feels like they have no power in this administration. Let's just let it happen. But this is an example of people using their power, right? This is not nothing. And if these rallies keep happening across the world, this will soon begin to influence voters, because you hearing with the shutdown of the government, that's a day 18 probably right now as a recording of this pod, and this health stuff, this subsidy and the higher premiums and whatnot are going to affect people not just in blue states, in red states. Like this is going to unite America in probably in a way the administration doesn't think it will. You know what I'm saying? But and then we'll see that change in the next midterm election next November. God willing, we make it there. I mean, the way the world moving. You know what I'm saying? And so I think, but this is an example of the people using their power, because I'll admit it did feel like, dog, what are we gonna do? He just doing whatever he want to do. And it's like, at some point there will be a mass movement, and this may be the beginning of something. So if you're gonna go out to the rally, please be safe, please be careful. And this happened a lot during the demonstrations when George Floyd was murdered, right? Like they were talking about it was riots and violence, but there were some people who were going in there to cause ruckus,
right,
to incite some things. So if you do go out there, please be safe, please be mindful, please be peaceful, because they want an opportunity to say, see, we can send a National Guard.
This is why.
This is violent, and that can happen fast, right? I mean, just something happens, somebody get crazy, somebody say something nuts, depending on how the weather looks. So just encouraging everybody, if you're gonna go, please be peaceful. Please be mindful of what, as Broski and I would say, you on TV, right? It's like people are watching. And so we don't want to give the administration the ammunition to say, that's why we have to send more troops, especially to Chicago. We've been pushing back and fighting back. We ain't playing here. And, they trying their best. And we keep pushing back. But, they are going to make it happen any way they can. But I feel like the biggest thing is we have to tell the truth. It's kind of alluding to this earlier. Like we have to tell the truth about what we are and what we're doing. Nothing's wrong with that. I think nothing's wrong with telling the truth, even if it's unfavorable, right? And the whole, again, we glossed over it as you and I have been talking about it, but just like how they're erasing certain books and changing certain museums and changing certain exhibits so it looks favorable to a group of people. It's like, hey, that's not what happened.
Right.
You know what I mean? That's the only way we get better is we know that happened. So we don't want to repeat that again. If you erase it down the line, they'll think this never happened, or we didn't learn from nothing. So that's why we have to tell the truth wherever we can. So y'all be safe this weekend if you're in the rally. If you're not in the rally, please keep just thoughts. Pray for these people. Make sure everything is safe because we got voices, man. We do, and we can use them in protests like this. We can use them at the ballot box. They are again, Dr. Williams talks about it all the time. We have various ways to protest, various ways to speak our minds, various ways to combat not just this administration, anything that goes against that is violating what you feel your freedoms are, as my pastor says, and he's yet to be United States. Right. So it's like that's something that we all can do. Let's not forget that. Let's not forget that. So on a lighter note, is I don't know if we talked about Sora last. I don't know. Have you seen some Sora videos online?
No.
You know what I'm talking about? Like the Sora, SORA, was an AI app where you can make videos.
Yeah, you can make
some random stuff. We talked about that. So have you been seeing those online?
I've been trying to stay away from the AI.
Man, it's been a couple of videos that are like, is that real? And then it's like it was like a dog fighting a bear, and I was like, it looks so real, but it's like there's no way.
I did see, now that you mentioned, I did see one where a bald eagle was trying to take out a cat, and then a goat came over and saved the cat.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's like, what are we doing, right?
Yeah.
And because you're like, what? And then I sent you a couple, but you're not on the TikTok, so
I'm not on TikTok. No,
it was in vain. But there are videos of these current songs that are being made into old school versions. Some of them slap. And
I showed you. I gave you the.
Did you get the biggie one I sent you?
Yeah, I did.
Okay,
it was decent.
Okay.
It was decent.
And
I sent you the. It was the AC/DC.
Oh yeah,
Back in Black.
That was it.
Funk version.
That was it. That was it. But it's hard to believe anything is real. When you read it, it's like, this ain't real. It can't be real. So I'm watching the Marvel trailers. Daredevil season 2 is coming out. Wonder Man. I stumbled upon a He-Man trailer. I was like, this ain't real. Until I saw it as a release date. And I was like, wait. Are they really making a movie? I was like, y'all really making a He-Man movie? Because listen, here it is. I'm a Marvel guy, right? DC guy, right? But it's I've read things here and there. Look, He-Man is a core memory for me. Do you understand me, dog? Like I stood up when I read it on my phone, man. Like He-Man is G.I. Joe, He-Man, and Thundercats. That's the top 3. Now, Voltron and Silverhawks aren't too far behind, but it's like the top 3, He-Man, G.I. Joe. Actually, it's probably He-Man, Thundercats, G.I. Joe in that order. I know I told this before. Shout out to my parents. I appreciate it now, but
I got Transformers over G.I. Joe.
You know what? Top 4. My bad. I forgot about Transformers.
Yeah.
But you're right too. And so with my folks, I know I told it before, but if you new story for you. When I was like 4 or 5 and He-Man had a full-length movie in the theaters. Now my parents work nights. I'm the youngest of 3. And I'm the baby by a lot. Low-key mother said she was mad and I was a surprise. Thanks, Mom, for helping my self-esteem. So they took me to the movies, and I'm sitting in between my parents. I look up, they snoring. I said, I'm never going to the movies with them again. But fast forward, I take Aiden to the movies to see Dog Man. If you don't know about Dog Man, he was a man and a dog put together. At the beginning, I saw a man and a dog. When I woke up, the Dog Man had saved the day. I missed the entire movie.
You're turning into your parents.
I was like, sorry, Mom and Dad, because I was mad at y'all for a minute. But
the Progressive commercial warns us about that.
Hey, man, it happens, bro. But the He-Man movie is a big deal. So apparently this is coming out June 5th, 2026.
Hey, that's my birthday.
Special day, man. Special day.
Yeah.
So Masters of the Universe is an upcoming American superhero film based on the Mattel franchise, same name.
Remember what happened the last time they released the Masters of the Universe? That was a bad movie, man.
That's what I'm saying, dude. It's like they can't mess up. But let me read this real quick. Directed by Travis Knight, stars Nicholas Galitzine. I don't know who he is.
Never met him.
Prince Adam as He-Man, and he returns to his home planet Eternia to save it from the evil forces of Skeletor, played by Jared Leto.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. Allison Brie is Evelyn. Idris Elba is Man-at-Arms.
Okay, I see that.
Yeah. So scheduled to be released on your birthday by Amazon, MGM Studios, and internationally by Sony. So listen, Amazon, please listen to me. I know y'all been late with the packages lately. They've been late. I mean, that Prime, I don't know what I'm paying for. I haven't had one day shipment in a long time. And
I feel you.
But hey, I can take that if y'all make this He-Man movie right. Listen, again, I take off the glasses. Amazon, do y'all hear me? Please make sure y'all make this movie right. It's gonna be some smoke in the city, man. Like y'all, for real, I can't express it enough, man. Like y'all got to get this right, because you figure they got the technology to make it right now. You know what I'm saying? I think, to me, that it is how the Skeletor looks. You can do the He-Man, right? You know, that buff guy. You know, it's the Skeletor and the Gray Skull. Like, I think that's, and maybe even the transition from, you know, Prince Adam to He-Man might be a little tricky, because I didn't realize, I saw they got Masters of the Universe on Netflix. I didn't realize how small Prince Adam was compared to He-Man. Like, He-Man was like 9 feet tall. 9 feet tall. Listen, so listen, I'm with you. I think in our cartoons,
they were the same size. All he did, he just
on the one on Netflix,
he took his shirt off.
They got Prince Adam as some little scrawny guy, and then he like grew into this man. I was like, I don't remember that.
No,
but, you know, I guess
because we always just say, how do they not know that He-Man is Prince Adam?
It's like, you need to pay attention. He ain't want to glass. I mean, you know, and then he always gone when He-Man show up. Come on, man.
Never the same place at the same time.
I mean, you know, that won't fly today. It's like, hold on, it's you. You are definitely He-Man, bro. We got you on tape. They got you on all videos getting undressed, fam. But man, that's gonna be great.
It's interesting you bring up He-Man though. I was talking to my mom. The nephews were in town, and we were talking about toys, and she, you know, brought up the fact that I liked He-Man.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh yeah, he had all the He-Man toys. He had He-Man, and she brought up, I think she said Mechaneck, which I'm surprised she was able to get that name.
She's probably singing that all over the house, and you screaming Mechaneck.
And then she said She-Ra. Now I don't want this to come off as
listen, I already know.
as misogynistic. I said, no, I did not have a She-Ra. Stop that. She said, you did. I was like, no, I did not. No, that didn't happen.
I mean, listen, man. Listen,
Mom was telling lies on
me. He-Man is one of great. I mean, that was his inspirational cartoon. Just like, you know what I'm saying? You got to think of He-Man and Thundercats, pretty much the same show. You think about it, it's the sword that make you great. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You wield this power, and it's like, that's that. But I watched Masters of the Universe on Netflix, was pretty good. They kind of nerfed He-Man though. They took him out the game early. And I guess the woman that was his girlfriend, she was kind of the star of it to save He-Man. So, you know, it's like they still didn't do it the right way. But I hope this does well, because if it does well, this could be big, man. You know what I'm saying? Because I feel like
do you think the kids will know who, or is this going to be for us?
I think it's for us with kids and nephews, right? It's like you'll take them, like if your nephews were in town next year, God willing, right? And they hear you, like, you know what? I take it to, you know, I know you don't go to movies like that, but would you take them to this? I'll take the boys.
See here, man. Yeah, I would.
You know what I'm saying? Like, and it's like, and my thing is, will I be looking at this like, hold on, this ain't what I remember. This trash, y'all. You know, will I be so
that's what I'm afraid of.
Into it that I won't just be able to enjoy. Kind of like people who are comic book, you know, nerds won't be able. Shout out to the Blurs. They can't separate just, you know, what the lore that they know from the movie that they're watching, right? And so it becomes, unfortunately, a not enjoyable experience versus just like picking it apart. You know, it happens. That, like, when people make movies out of books and it's like, you know, They go, this isn't in the book because they had to make a movie out of it. That's why. You know, my man had 900 pages to flush this thing out. They got 2 hours to make it happen, man. So, but Amazon, listen, I'll take these late packages. I'll take these late packages if you get this movie right.
Get it right.
So as we got this segment, things that Ez missed on the internet, man. So
yes,
I'll touch on this briefly. You can Google it if you got time. But did you hear about the man whose grave got blown up?
No. What are we doing?
So apparently there was a man, a Kansas man, I think it was Kansas City man, whose grave and casket was dug up and blown up. They said they think that somebody stuck dynamite in it and blew it up. But
damn, he has real enemies.
He died in 1998. So this is like 27 years. I should be laughing about this. 27 years later. They were like, who would do this 27 years later? Crazy.
That's just,
man. Somebody got to hate you, like, for real.
I mean, talk about holding on to a grudge.
Right. It's like you know what, where he at.
Or you know what though? Maybe they found out about something 30 years later.
And just be like, we're gonna get him still, but I don't care what it is. At that point, you know, he really ain't there. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like you just blowing up his, you know what I mean?
Yeah, but they got a vent somehow, and they couldn't talk to him.
So they said, my man, he had 9 kids when he died. He was early 20 something.
That's what happened.
They could score love or something.
Yeah,
like so. It wasn't ops.
Or he was messing with somebody, and the significant other found out, and they was like best friends or something like that.
You know what we gonna do, girl? I got dynamite. Whoa, where you get dynamite from, man?
Yeah. Because come on, you don't hold on 30 years for something like that.
And to your point,
that just came about.
You know what? You might be on some edge. It's like, you know, they had a birthday party. Like, it's your birthday. Yes, my son's birthday too. Huh? Who's his daddy?
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Knock. Wait a second.
You're thinking. Yeah.
I'm with you. That's like, I'm tired of him. I keep finding out about all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
They blow it up and slide out. You know what I mean?
Yeah. They didn't hold on to that for 30 years.
That's wild. That's wild, bro.
Yeah.
Say, listen, more of the story is y'all to live right, okay? Just live right. Somebody blow up your grave 27 years later. Jeez Louise. I mean, he like, dang, man, I'm dead. That's still blowing up stuff.
So what do you do now?
I'm sure they got to, you know, because that's because my thought was this: it's not just that grave. I'm sure it wasn't like a clean
dynamite
explosion. It's like stuff went around and got blown up. You know what I mean? So somebody coming to see, you know, Grandma Marge, it's like, hey, what happened to Grandma Marge's grave? What? You know?
That wasn't very thoughtful, whoever that is. I'm sorry.
Not at all, man. But again,
that should be frowned upon.
Got to live right, man. Yeah. So before we get out of here, Ed, I want to do a special in the 90s.
I'm born into the 90s. Make it feel good. Come on, make it feel good.
So we all have heard, if you listen to this pod by now, that the one and only D'Angelo, also known as Michael Eugene Archer, passed away on October 14th. And shout out to my family. They were sending me text messages because, again, if you listen to the pod, you know who the king is. But also, D'Angelo is truly like one of my favorite.
By the way, I didn't say that.
It's always, y'all know who the king is.
I'm just saying.
But D'Angelo really is also one of my. I can't say enough about his music. I love it so much, man. So, you know, I just wanted to use this as a special time to pay tribute to D'Angelo, man. You know, I was thinking about, especially in the 90s, because Brown Sugar came out. The song was released June 1995. And then the album came out July 1995. So right before my 16th birthday, right after your 16th birthday is. And so it's like, you know, thinking about that album, like that was in a time where gangster rap was really like rolling, right? You know, Snoop had already been out. Like everybody was, you know, dancing like this and whatnot. They wear flannel all the time, bandanas. And then you got this guy come out singing real smooth with a piano and a couple instruments. And it was like, yo, what is this? And as a drummer, right, at the time, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't a gangster, you know what I mean? I grew up in the hood gangster, but I went to St. Ignatius College Prep, you know what I mean? I wore preppy clothes in school, you dig? And so it was like, man, this is some stuff you can listen to. And thinking about it now, D'Angelo was 21 when he made this album. We're 16, and he's singing about like a young adult, young love. I'm trying to apply it to my 16-year-old life. I don't think I even have a car. I just got my license. You know what I'm saying? Singing "Lady" and "Dream Eyes of Mine." Right? Shout out to the mixtapes we was making back then, man.
Yeah.
But it was just such a cool thing to see and listen to. And I remember this was the first music I could listen to that my parents liked. Right? They didn't like my music at all. But they were like, "What's all this hibba hit?" Hi, make fun all the time, right? But I played cruising, and I heard them go, "Hey, go and play that again." It's like now we got a song that we agreed to. You know what I'm saying? And it's just like D'Angelo was everywhere, but he was this mysterious guy. He had this weird name. Where he from? People always from New York. He's from Virginia. But it was like, yo, this thing is awesome. And just for me, it was like, I am really like digging this music. It was cool to be an R&B dude. It was cool to just like this song, right? That's the music you can just play. If you were driving by then, play with a nice little cute girl in the car, and you cool. You setting the vibe, but it's still cool. You know what I mean? It's still got some nice little bump to it, man. So, they released 4 singles: "Brown Sugar," I think it was "Dreaming Eyes of Mine," "Lady." Right, I can't think of the other one, but like even "Lady," that's still a
Well, the
jam.
cruising.
There we go.
Was
One of my favorite
single,
songs.
yeah.
Just talked about it, but it's like, and that's one of the songs where it's the first remake I've heard that's better than the original. That's hard to do.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like that's and the original. I know Smokey was like, "Nah, this young fella done took my song." Now I got to come up with a song, "Gang Banging." Inside joke. So. Gang banging shot. Listen, just Google gangbanger. It'll make your weekend.
Hey man, he's staying relevant, man. What can you say?
Hey man, shout out to Smokey, man. Listen, he gonna stay getting his checks. You understand? He was like, I grew up, we were singing free. I'm getting these checks. And the thing, so I don't think people even remember, maybe might know this as. Remember when Jason's Lyric, there was a song called "You Will Know" that was it was like all the male R&B singers had like a makeshift choir. They kind of got together and made the song called "You Will Know." He co-wrote it and produced it with his brother. That's kind of the first time you heard about D'Angelo, because he sang a bit on the song. Again, Google that. You will know. It was like,
I don't remember that.
Yeah, R. Kelly, Joe, Aaron Hall, Silk. I mean, all the male contemporary R&B singers at the time sang on this song, and it was featured on Jason's Lyric, one of the prominent songs from there. Had a big video and everything. So that's, people got to know about him, and then he put out this smash of an album, went platinum, and then he was gone. Right? The singers, and that was back in the time of music where like an album would last like 2 to 3 years. You know what I'm saying? Like they would just run it to death, run another single, another single. Now it's like he dropped the album, all the songs are out. You listen to it maybe one time, maybe twice. You throw a song on the playlist, and that's it. You forget about it until it comes up randomly. But at that point, I don't know about you, Ez. I knew every word, every song, every beat, every breath. Knew it all.
Not a lot of albums that you can listen to from front to back.
Yeah.
Straight through, no skip.
And that's it. That was one.
Brown Sugar is one of those.
It's just beautiful music. But then, there's a recluse. I never got to see him live, man, which I hate. But it was just like, then he was kind of gone for a minute. And then, you still kind of bumping Brown Sugar, here time to time.
Well,
Ladies rolling. Go ahead.
Don't forget about what's the second album, the video.
Oh, what? I'm getting to that, right?
So
in between that, right, Lauryn Hill came out with an album, and she had a feature with D'Angelo. Nothing Even Matters, right? And it's like, there's a few perfect songs. To me, Nothing Even Matters is a perfect, and what I define a perfect song is like, it could play for a long time and you wouldn't like, because you hear a song, you kind of like, okay, I'm done with the song. It could be over. A perfect song is like, it could be playing for 20 minutes. You wouldn't even realize that much time had passed. Or when it's over, you hate that it's over. Like Nothing Even Matters is one. Prototype by Andre 3000 is one. Lady in My Life by Michael Jackson is one where it's just like, this is just a beautiful song. Ass by Stevie Wonder. And you know what I'm saying? These are just beautiful songs you can live forever. So when that came out, you know what I mean? It's like, okay, he back in the mix. And then January 25th, 2000, he drops Voodoo. I remember where I was because shout out to Cheesy. We had the Shop Player Radio show at school, and we had to buy CDs at different places. So I was Shot the Vibe magazine. I would get the Vibe, knowing when the music coming out, because again, he's finally coming out with another album. We can only play Brown Sugar for so long, and I'm in Boston, and I'm buying. And that's the CD was $20, and it was like, if I wait for Tile, I can get it for $12.99. But I needed it then. I needed it now, and I put in that Voodoo, and it was just like, okay, like that's 40. So I was a junior in high school. We were juniors in high school when Brown Sugar came out. Now we're juniors in college. Had a little bit of life experience, moved away from home. You're expanding. That's kind of how this album was, man. I mean, and Voodoo, I think, now that's to me one of my favorite albums to listen to front to back. And it's so different than Brown Sugar. Like it sounds like a whole different guy. You know what I'm saying? This is more music to it, more instrumentation, different types of music. Like Brown Sugar, you can tell this is an R&B cat. Voodoo, it's like this is a musician here. You know what I'm saying? And everything is, got Questlove on there, different artists and musicians helping to make this music come to life. And then you have the smash, the banger. How does it feel? Right? The untitled song was just how many parodies of that have we seen, right? And when that music come on, everybody know what time it is. You know what I'm saying? Now it's odd because I was reading, just doing the research for this segment, that was kind of a gift and a curse for him because it gave him a lot of commercial success, right? Because it's like that was a big, huge hit. And my man's half naked in the video. I mean, everybody's doing sit-ups and push-ups there. It's like that's what the girl go crazy for. I got a problem. I was just doing whatever the girls liked. I'm gonna do it too. Push-ups, cool. So we got it. And so then, but it's like he was uncomfortable being a sex symbol, right? Because he was now, because before that he had the big leather jacket on and he was behind the piano. Now he got to perform with a shirt off and leather pants on, right? And a bandana. And for him, according to what I was reading, that was hard for him because it was like, do they love me for my craft or do they love me because I'm a sex symbol? I mean, at the time, I wouldn't care. They love me, right? Hey, sex, let's do the sex symbol. But hey, he's a true artist. He wants you to know.
Right. He
Like my music, look at me in my face, my eyes. Hey man, he better man than me. But that was his kind of connection. That was working against him. It's weird because he got this great music out, putting it out, but that was a struggle he was having. Then he disappeared for a bit. And had struggles with alcoholism, depression, but then was able to come back with the Black Messiah in 2014. But then, that's 14 years later. At that time, our musical taste had changed. It's like I think there's a time period where like 3 to 4 years where you can let the album you had kind of sit, everybody get used to it, get joy, and you come out with something else. And I think he was doing okay at that, but 14-year gap, I mean, the people who were with you have kind of grown up. They've gone leaps and bounds on something else. And it's like he was trying to get that old thing back, but we had moved it along. I mean, yeah, he still won a Grammy off of that album. You know what I'm saying? Which is so he's still putting good music out there. But just to hear that he passed, it's like, I hate that we do these tributes and we do these conversations when somebody is now no longer with us. I mean, and what I saw, they said he was in hospice for 2 weeks, man, and had been hospitalized for months, dealing with pancreatic cancer. So, I hate to hear that he suffered, but praying for his family. And, he was with Angie Stone. They had a son together, and she passed away a few months ago.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and a lot of people are pouring out there because, I mean, he was undeniable, man. And just, thinking about that music at that time, it's like, there's a show Netflix airs. I don't know if you saw it. It's called Forever. And it's about like people, this high school couple, like this, they're their first love and going through high school and whatnot. But like, those are formative years. And like, when I think about the answer, I think about that time in life, just, in high school and, trying to figure out what life means to you, or you kind of have a soundtrack to your life. And that was a soundtrack among other things, right? But that's when you think about, I don't know about you, I think about the answer, especially Brown. That's junior year high school. Voodoo was like, this is college, right? And it's like we on to some new different things. So I just hope he rests in peace, man, and really appreciate all the music that he did. But again, just for us, he's a young man. Like he died at 51. Like we're not far from that, and that's not an old person at all. I mean, it's funny to say that now because when we were 15, 16, that's older than us. But now it's like, nah, brother, you are a young man. But so just if nothing else, just reminding us to take care of our health as much as we can, right? Go get checked out, eat right, sleep well, you know what I'm saying? Because you just never know. And also just thinking about how he didn't want to be viewed as a sex symbol, and how most of us would have taken that sex symbol moniker and commercial success and be like, yes, I won. But I was thinking about how what's wrong. I think that's a lesson that we can take with us in terms of, we do so much, because he was right before that money ain't a thing, right, kind of era. You know what I'm saying? He just making music just because he love it. And how often are we doing things for the money? I mean, unless I get it twisted, like Chris Tucker said in Money Talks, I want to get some diamonds too. I ain't doing this just because, you know what I'm saying? So you do want to make some bucks, but at the end of the day, are we living with passion? Are we doing something just because we love it and we want to dive deeper into it just because we love it that much and we just get better at it, and then we do it so much that somebody pays us for our talent, right? How often are we doing that? I ask myself that all the time. Like, what am I doing that is a passion versus doing to get a check here and there, right? So, shout out to my job. I appreciate y'all. I still want them my check on the 15th and the 1st. So, just want to put that out there. Passionate about that. There's other shows. You dig? But yeah, I just encourage you guys, find that thing that's passionate for you and live in it, and live into it as long as you can, man. But we can't succumb to any pressures. We got to make sure we take care of our health and take care of our people. So check on those that you love. And again, we hadn't heard from D'Angelo until he died. So maybe there's somebody you haven't heard from in a while that you need to holler at or just reach out to. You never know what people are dealing with or what's going on. This is a sign. Call them, text them, say hey. Just thinking about you, man. Even if they don't respond, I have countless stories of people that I just would hit, just like, hey, man, think about you. Hope you're doing well. And then I'll see them months later and say, man, I appreciate you checking in, right? It's like, I was dealing with X, Y, and Z. My bad, I couldn't get back to you. We don't know what that means to people and how that helps people. So RIP to D'Angelo. Thank you for your music. Thank you for sharing your gift with the world, man. Again, rest in peace and prayers to your family that I'm sure is missing you as well, more than we are. So that's our show for today. Thank you for checking out the Super Duper Pod. We do not take your listens lightly. As I miss anything?
No, I think you covered it all.
Fantastic. Make sure you take care of yourselves and each other. Hey, mama, this is the Super Duper Podcast.
Real pain, champagne from you and I. Wait, you alive? Now that's champagne if you was I. Would you be off on this campaign? Is it suicide? If you know that bringing hope is how careers die. Or do the K stand for kamikaze? The J silent is everywhere, you can feel them probably. Surely, lately, I've been up late with demons in my basement trying to get me to hate this. Life thinking I should be further and then I choke up. As soon as I got silent, then the truth spoke up. This said, how you know you ain't perfect? Let that soak up and soak in. You know